Ready to go? Okay, good morning, good morning. You, Mr. Ray Matthews?
Yes, sir. My real name's King.
Your real name is what?
King.
Spell that for me, K-I-N-G?
Yes, sir.
What's your DOC number?
592689.
Okay, and your real name is King. Well, we'll get that straight. Okay, but this is the committee on parole that you're talking to, the three of us today. To my right is Mr. Pete Freeman. To my left, Mr. Chuck Tillis. And my name is Steve Frater. The date today is Wednesday, June the 4th. It's 8:46 in the morning. We're at Baton Rouge DOC headquarters. And the staff, would you introduce yourself, please?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We thank you for being here and setting all this up. And we're talking to Calcasieu Correctional Center. Is there anybody in the room with you with Calcasieu?
No, sir. I'm by myself.
Okay. All right. And we got your DOC number. And do you have a sheet of paper in front of you that's got your name written on it about talking about attorneys and waiving attorneys and all of that sort of thing?
It says Louisiana Board of Parole Revocation Questionnaire.
Okay, yes, sir. It says you refused to sign that, and in reading the reports, it says you refused to. Did you, in fact, refuse to sign that?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay.
I was told not to sign anything until I get in front of the parole board so I can get back home, back to DC.
Okay, well, this is the parole board, and whether you sign that or not, do you acknowledge reading that form?
What's that?
Did you read that form where you can hire you an attorney and you're not eligible to get one appointed to you, but you had a chance to hire one before this hearing? Do you understand that?
Okay. Probation causes it to believe you have violated the condition of your parole and outlined in the notice of preliminary hearing based on absconding supervision. In the event you are scheduled for a final parole revocation hearing by the parole board, you will be permitted to speak in your own behalf, present witness and or present documents in your own behalf. You may request a continuance of a final revocation hearing for the purpose of gathering more information for the board, or to cross-examine advised witnesses who were not present at your preliminary hearing. At your expense, you may have your retained counsel and any persons you wish to speak in your behalf. If you are indigent at the hearing, you may make a request for appointed counsel. The board will consider your request under the U.S. Supreme Court guidelines, and if you are determined to be eligible, your case will be continued and you will be appointed for you. All right. Please answer the following questions. Number one.
That's okay. That's all right. We see that you got the gist of it there.
I got a question for you. Kane, you like to be known as Kane Gregg?
No, sir, wrong person.
Okay. I know. He got it when he refused to sign. Oh, somebody with. Do you admit that you're still on parole or not? Do you think you're on parole or not?
No, sir. I know I'm not on parole.
Okay.
That was my orders from DC.
That's why. That's his whole thing. His whole case is he said he wasn't on parole, but you signed conditions, didn't you? You were released?
Actually, no, sir. I didn't sign any conditions.
Are you saying you're not on parole?
Yes, sir.
Is he on parole?
Yes.
Staff?
If he says he's not, then he needs counsel.
Wait.
We should have a certificate somewhere from.
Tell you what,
Let's take a
let's
break.
have an executive session.
I call for an executive session.
I second.
I'm for it also.
Freeman,
Yes.
Frater,
Yes.
Tilly.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to go into executive session, look at some records right quick. Just stand by. We'll be right back with you in just a minute. The time is 8:50 and 57 seconds. So we're going to be back in just a few minutes.
Okay, yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Matthews,
Let's have a vote to come back.
yeah.
Okay,
I move to come back into regular session.
Second.
okay, got a motion and a second to come back in the regular section. Let's call roll, please.
Freeman.
Yes.
Prater.
Yes.
Tilley.
Yes.
Okay, the committee on parole is resuming. It's 8:57 in the morning. We continue to be on Wednesday, June the 4th. Mr. Freeman, would you take this?
Yeah, I'm gonna take over, Mr. Matthews. I'm sitting here with a signed certificate from 7/3/24 by Raymond Matthews stating that he is on parole. You were given the conditions and the, certificate before you left the jail. So you were on parole. Do you understand? Can you hear me?
You're on mute.
You're on mute.
You're on mute. Ask one of those people behind you to come in and unmute it, please, sir. Mickey King. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Matthews, we found your certificate. You did sign a certificate. You are on parole. Your parole wouldn't have expired until, let's see. Till 10/26/25, you were on parole. Okay? So you were on parole. Did you go to Washington?
I'm from DC. I'm from Italy. I deployed from DC to fix all this. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going on.
Well,
But the guy y'all looking for, he's somebody, that's somebody else, so.
so you trying to say you're not Raymond Matthews now?
King God Extension Matthews is my name. That's my real name.
Spell it for me.
King,
Okay?
GODEXTION,
King God Estonia
Extension.
Extension.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Keep going, you want to give him point counsel?
I actually was never on probation and parole. I came down here on an investigation for probation and parole from DC.
Give him.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to get you an appointed counsel.
Yeah, did they have appointed counsel at your preliminary hearing? Did you have a lawyer when you did your preliminary hearing?
No, sir.
I'm gonna make a motion that we continue this hearing and get the subject appointed counsel.
I second it.
Got a motion and a second, and I concur also. So, yes, sir, as of 9 o'clock this morning, we're going to continue your hearing, and we're going to get you an appointed counsel to represent you. We may have to start over with the preliminary hearing with an appointed counsel,
Probably so.
and then see what happens through that. And if there's probable cause found, then you'll come back to the board. Right now, you're going to stay incarcerated. We're going to get you an appointed attorney, and that'll conclude this hearing at 9 o'clock in the morning. So we're through there at Calcasieu.
All right.
Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Webster, Bayou, Dorchette. I'm in Baton Rouge, so I don't know how to talk anymore. But thank you for hosting us today. Would you introduce yourselves as staff, please?
That'd be Major Culpepper,
Okay.
And I'm Jason Johnson. I'm the program manager for the sex offender treatment unit.
Okay. Thank y'all for hosting us here. And we're talking to Mr. Joe Howell. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what is your DOC number, Mr. Howell?
635477.
Okay. And you're here because you have applied for parole. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, your case has been assigned to Mr. Freeman, to my right, and the rest of us have read your case, so we're familiar with it, but he's going to be the lead interviewer, so I'm going to go directly to him and turn it over to him.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Brader. Okay, Mr. Howell, I'm gonna put some preliminary information into the record. You are officially classified as a second felony offender. Your parole date was 10/17/24. Your good time date is 4/20/28. Full term date is 8/3/2030. You had a total sentence of 13 years and 2 months. for the offenses of third-degree rape and possession of alprolazam and probation technical felony, which you must have got revoked while you was for this charge. Is that all sound correct, Mr. Howard?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, while we have you there, did he complete his sex offender treatment? I see he did 1 and 2.
Yes, sir. So I'll remind the board, our credit is put in differently than anywhere else. And so whenever it says Bossier sex offender treatment 1 and 2, it really means all 4 phases of sex offender treatment. And he has not technically completed yet, but he is going to finish on the 28th of this month. There's really nothing stopping him at this point. He's going to graduate.
All right. All right. And Warden, do you have anything to say about him? Any comments, any problems y'all have with him, anything like that?
No, sir, we ain't had no issues out of him at all, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Howell, first off, tell us what you did to get yourself put in prison and why do you think you're ready for release today?
I had slept with my friend's mother, and I really didn't recognize that it was wrong at the time, but I do know that it was wrong now. And I apologized to the woman's daughters. I was actually friends with one of her daughters, and her other daughter worked for the DA in Cleveland Parish, and she's the one that pressed charges on me. So I know what I done was wrong. I regret it, and I feel like I've paid for my.
Okay, and why do you think you should get out? Think you paid for your time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how old was the victim in this case at the time of the offense? Do you know about?
In her 70s.
Okay. And I just want you to note for the record that the victim's family is strongly opposed. Everyone that we spoke to in the family is opposed. You know, and she had to go to a nursing home after this event. Do you kind of realize now what kind of trauma you caused this lady?
Victim awareness.
Here, let me help you answer that question. For people in his program, we have a version of victims awareness for sex offenders. It's called empathy and awareness, and he has taken that.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I have no further questions.
Mr. Howell, the classes you're taking now, what are you learning from them? Can you tell me something about it?
We took stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4 on risk management. And then I've done completed mass and empathy and awareness and living in balance.
Which one is impacting you the most? What did you learn from it?
The risk factors, the risk management.
What'd you get out of that?
I learned that you can't be in denial, and ain't no use in trying to justify nothing that you've done wrong, and I take responsibility for my actions and sorry for what I've done.
Yeah, I have no questions.
Okay, let me ask you, what you say, it was kind of interesting, you said at the time you didn't know it was wrong, but you know it was wrong now. What kind of condition was this 70-something-year-old lady in?
She had a disability.
What kind of disability?
What do you call it?
Was it mental?
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's.
Okay. So you knew she couldn't give consent because she wasn't capable of that. Is that correct?
Yes.
In what world could you not have realized that was wrong?
I wasn't thinking.
What's him?
Okay, were you on drugs or anything, or
Yes, sir.
what kind of drugs?
Hydrocodone and soma.
All right. Have you taken some substance abuse classes?
I took AANA at Cleveland Parish and Celebrate Recovery, and I took mass here.
Okay. That's all I've got.
How long have you been incarcerated?
11 years.
And you're serving a 13-year sentence?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No other questions,
Mr. Freeman, I think it's your vote.
Okay, first off, none of your good time is on your record. So I'm not sure whether maybe you can't, no, you got to earn it because you got a good time date. So I don't know what's going on there, but maybe they hadn't got into time comp yet. But we need to make sure all those classes are completed, especially substance abuse and pre-release. At this time, we need to talk to the victims. Miss Patricia Gross, we'd like to hear what you have to say.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, first off, when he said that I worked at the DA's office and I'm the one that had him arrested, that's not the case. So again, he's blaming me for what his actions were. He done this himself. The cops were called. The cops is the ones that arrested him. The DA's office itself didn't have anything to do with this. And we turned it over to the Attorney General's office to prosecute. So no, I did not have anything to do with him being arrested. My mother was not in her 70s. She was 80 years old, and she had been diagnosed with Alzheimer's for about 3 years prior to this happening. Yes, she was living at home by herself. I had a sister living there with her at the time, but we didn't expect her to stay there 24/7. And yes, he might have been a friend of the other sister, but that still didn't give him the right to sleep with my mother that had Alzheimer's, that couldn't even remember who he even was. Didn't even know who I was. So no, I'm not going to take that he's blaming me still for this right here. He has wrote me many, many, many letters before he got incarcerated, telling me that my mother asked for it. No, she did not. So that's really about all I have to say right now.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that.
Okay, is Miss Cindy White there with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Miss Cindy, what do you have to tell the board?
I'm so angry because we were taking care of her at home. We had been taking care of her at home. After this was done to her, we had to put her in the nursing home. To us, that sentenced her death right there. And she was my best friend. I would go pick her up. We would go get ice cream and go riding. I feel like even with her having Alzheimer's, I could have continued to do that for a few more years and enjoy life with my best friend. I cry every day for her, even after 5 years. I would like to know why, but I won't ever get that answer. Why did he do this?
Okay, Ms. White, I have just one question for you.
Yes,
you
sir.
knew him. Did he know your mother had Alzheimer's since you had
Yes,
been
sir.
known?
He most certainly did. We knew his dad. I know his brother. They are great people. He knew she had Alzheimer's.
Okay, yes,
It would be like he would come in her house during the day when he knew Pat was at work and I was probably on the road because I drove a truck.
Mhm.
He never went in at night, but it was during the day that he would go in and do whatever he did to her. And she would tell me, she would cry and tell me, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I have to live with, did he just leave out of her house? Had he just finished pleasuring himself off of her and her not knowing and not and her hurting?
Yes, ma'am. I got you. Appreciate y'all joining us today. I know
Thank y'all.
very, very hard. Okay, I'm ready to vote when y'all are.
Ready?
Okay, due to him knowing the state of the victim and he only got a 13-year sentence on a horrific charge, my vote today is to deny. And victim opposition.
I concur with Mr. Freeman.
Okay, and I concur with Mr. Freeman. The time is 9:36. Your parole has been denied. That's the end of the hearing, 9:36.